this hour with comments from US President Donald Trump, who says he wants to end the war in Ukraine quickly and not waste any time. In an interview, he described his warm relationship with Vladimir Putin as a good thing, while admitting it's possible the Russian leader may not want a deal. Trump said Ukraine should not have sought NATO membership and suggested the country may lose significant territory. Trump said Zelensky and Putin are doing okay, but warned the situation remains fragile. Well, joining us to discuss these comments by Donald Trump is Julius Stoy, a journalist who joins us live from Berlin. Julius, thank you ever so much for taking the time to speak with us. Let's start with Trump saying he wants to get this deal done quickly. Is that necessarily the best thing for all parties involved?
I think it's quite typical for Donald Trump to do things like the fastest way possible because of his history as a quite problematic president, and also his promises which he didn't kept real for a long time. So in my opinion, no, it isn't the best solution because in first things, a ceasefire. When they met, there was first discussed a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, but it's not a solution. It's just a temporary solution to gather more resources for war funding between the two countries. So.
Yes, and Julius, of course, a lot of effort going in from European nations to try and look at finding a solution for Ukraine that is beneficial to them, but also Ukraine as well, with fears after that Trump-Putin meeting that Trump may side with Russia. How significant is that support for Ukraine from Europe?
I think it's quite significant. When von der Leyen and Friedrich Merz visited together with Zelensky the White House, I think it wasn't yesterday, the press speaker of the White House told us they're there to protect Zelensky from being bullied, but it was just to show some solidarity with Ukraine, because Germany still stands with Ukraine, clearly.
Yes, of course. Trump talking about his relationship with Vladimir Putin, saying that a warmer relationship between the two is good. What do you think he means by that?
It's quite complicated because he does something never an US leader has done before. When we think about Cold War times and so on, US and Russia are big enemies usually for every president, and he wants for the first time as a president make a friendship between those two nations. And I think it's more about resources and gathering financial investments. Forest, for example.
Yes, Julius. Trump also talking about the fact that Ukraine should not have sought NATO membership. Where is he positioning himself in this conversation about defence? Of course, NATO is a key part of defence securities, and Ukraine looking for that. Is Trump's comment, in your opinion, helpful, or is this a red line that can't be crossed in order to end a peace deal, and therefore Trump is saying these comments, obviously thinking about Russia's wants in this ceasefire talk as well?
I think Ukraine, this whole conflict is a middleman between NATO and Russia. So of course Ukraine wants to remain his solitude, but it hasn't any chance without the NATO. So yeah, what he said is quite problematic.
Yes, Julius, please do stay with us, because